At RECM, we recognise the parallel between art and the investment process broadly along the following lines. The first is the application of our creativity, or the artist's creativity. The second is the need to apply that process diligently and patiently. And finally, the patience to see something emerge as valuable from a starting point as something which might not have originally been seen as valuable, thereby challenging the conventional norms.
It's important for me to get to original approach and hopefully artwork that shows originality in thought, where it's not something based on something else.
Yeah, you certainly if that's earning as well % margin.
Yeah, you're earning high margin, but for how long?
The end goal in managing clients' money or their cash is to increase the value of that cash in real terms. In other words, to increase the purchasing power that our clients have over time. We think that the best way to generate inflation-beating returns is to buy undervalued, good quality businesses.
Right, I'm interpreting this correctly, that your valuation.
There's a lot of elbow grease that goes into finding and valuing assets. That's what we do every day.
The challenge is in separating the relevant information from the noise. Much of what passes for information in the financial market doesn't really tell you much about what an asset is fundamentally or intrinsically worth.
The thing we respond to is the price-value relationship. We do not respond to macroeconomic forecasts or interest rate movements or those sort of things. All we respond to is when prices deviate from fair value, the fair value we've calculated for these businesses.
There's a lot of passion and creativity in actually finding investment ideas. And then it's the discipline of the process which actually harnesses that creativity and makes it something that is ultimately valuable to your clients.
RECM's investment process is one of being disciplined, following a thorough research process. And what we're looking for here is not only a quantitative, but also a qualitative, thorough, consistent approach.
We do our analysis in a cold, rational state, rather than waiting for the heat of the moment to actually make a decision as to what we're going to do. Knowing what businesses are worth ahead of time allows us then to actually act when the market provides us with the opportunity to do so.
RECM is different because we're not scared to go against the herd mentality. So we are quite happy to invest in unpopular companies, and we have a longer time horizon and focus on delivering good long-term performance for our clients.
It is by way of being contrarian that you often unearth the best investment opportunities, the most undervalued investment ideas.
It's when there's distress in markets, when everybody's running away from something, that we actually go and take a look.
You can't generate superior returns if you're doing the same thing as everyone else. At best, you can generate average returns. So you need to be doing something different to the rest of the market in order to do your job of generating superior returns for your clients.
One of our key characteristics that sets us apart from many other businesses is that it is an owner-managed business, but not only owner-managed, but the owners are significant co-investors, along with the clients, in the funds we manage on exactly the same terms.
When I wake up in the morning, the first client I see is me in the mirror. And then the next clients that I see is my wife and my 2 daughters. Then I come to work and I see all my colleagues, they're all invested in the funds. So I've seen a lot of clients before 8 o'clock in the morning. So when I make decisions, I have a very strong awareness of who those decisions impact.
It's a year of progress, it's a year of research, both in concept and in material studies. Research and development of trying to understand how I would go about creating something that has a resonance that's South African and yet conceptually strong enough to communicate with any European work or American work, but that's individualistic and true to who I am and also where I'm from. The Sculptor is placed in a clean, crisp office environment, but it's this Sons of the Soil which is strong and quite imposing, but with the eyes closed and the body language humble. Very happy with how they appear.
He's a challenging artist using materials that aren't normally brought together, and in many ways it's very similar to what we do, choosing perhaps undervalued stocks, perhaps stocks that aren't all that popular in our investment portfolios.